What's going on, YouTube Blitz? This is Matt the StarCraft here, casting another wonderful game for you. Actually, it's going to be a best of three between our purple Zerg Deception and our red Protoss DuckloadRa. I actually looked up Deception on sc2rank.com, and I saw he was like a 663 Masters player. This was actually a best of three. I believe it was for some sort of prize, but I'm not quite sure what it was for. DuckloadRa being an amazing Protoss player. He used to be known as WhiteRa, sorry, not Whiteload. WhiteRa in StarCraft 1, but changed his name to DuckloadRa here. Duckload is his sponsor, so that it kind of makes sense. They give him all kinds of fun, free stuff, and in turn, he plays a lot and wins a lot of things. So let's get going. We got the production tab open. Both players are going to be playing here on Xel'Naga Caverns, one of my favorite maps, as I've stated before. It's just like one of the most perfect maps, and I don't think there's a player out there who hates this map, so definitely excited to see this go down. Deception, I'm not sure what kind of a player he is. I'm not sure if he's a big macroer or if he is a more of an aggressive Zerg, so I guess we'll find out. Also, too, this is just a note. This is going to be one of the earlier. This is before this recent patch, so 4-gate is still very much an option in this game. So we'll see if that happened. At least a good 4-gate, not the delayed 4-gate, where it was a 20-second pushback. So we'll see how that goes down. We do have his drop in his warp gate here, not walling off, so that's interesting. Usually you'll see Protoss wall off against Zerg players, any early scouting to deny it, or Zergling run by. So curious to see what he's got going there, but it is DuckloadRa, so I don't doubt his ability to play. We have spawning pool first before hatchery for Deception down here. He's grabbing an early gas, so perhaps some early roach play, or maybe he's go for early speedlings. That wouldn't be surprising. Most people who grab early gas before after pool, you're looking at like a early speedling play. After they get that first 100 gas, sometimes they'll pull off all but one drone just to get that mineral production back up and going. And once that speedling research is complete, they'll put those drones right back on there. It just allows, again, for more minerals to pop out that speedlings a lot quicker. And you don't really need gas early on in the game, especially if you're only going speedling. If you're going roaches, you need to grab more gas. You're going to need to grab 2 gas at some point. Roaches are a good amount of gas, 75 gas. But if you're just doing that speedling, then you just need a little bit of gas. So see if he goes for speedling. His right when I hit 100, so crisp timing there. He's got his speedlings, but he's keeping his drones in gas. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Maybe he'll be going for something else. Maybe we'll see an expansion popping out soon. We do have the cybernetics core for Duckload going down right now. 4 Zerglings on the way for Deception, which is not uncommon. Does a good for early map control, poking in and out, seeing what your enemy's up to, taking control of their center Xel'Naga towers. We do have Zealot attacking something, and he is stealing his gas, so he's forcing when you steal gas from a Protoss, you essentially force them into like one of 2 decisions. You can either have them do it, and you let the gas build too, which is surprising. You can either force him into like a 4-gate, because you only need 1 gas to 4-gate, or you're forcing him into like a 2 or 3-gate expand. So we'll see what his response to this is going to be. Dropping on the 2nd gateway, 3rd gateway, so we got 3 gateways going down, but we'll see if we see a 4th one down. We do have an expansion dropping now. We do have Zerglings on the way, and we have a Roach Warren too. Right as he drops his expansion, he drops a Roach Warren as well, so maybe we'll see some roaches, early roach aggression, or maybe roaches for defense if he thinks he's going 4-gate because he did steal that gas. We have Crony boosting out the warp gate technology. Still didn't drop that 4th gate, and he seems to be dropping just a pylon now. So maybe we'll see. He looks like he's going to be saving up some money, so maybe we'll see an expansion. We'll see what happens. He has grabbed the 2nd gas, so 4-gate is definitely not what he's doing, so maybe 3-gate expand. That would not be surprising. Speedling upgrade is done. His Zerglings poking in and out, seeing that Stalker, knowing that without seeing a sentry, if you hide that sentry too, not quite sure if he's going to expand. If you see sentries, which is actually a note, if you ever see a sentry, they are super cheap minerals, but super high on gas, so that's perfect for what you want to build if you're going to expand. And there he goes. So we look like he is going to be dropping an expansion. We'll probably see a pylon drop first, followed by either are we going to wait for his army to move out because his Zerglings are in the way. We do have Probe poking up in here, seeing what he can see, getting a very good scout of the base, and he's got a bunch of roaches on the way, and he's going to see the Roach Warren and just kind of sacrifice that to see the 6 roaches pop out. And those Zerglings are up there, popping in and out of that base, doing a little bit of harassment, keeping tabs on what's going on. A bunch more sentries, so Warp Gate is researched. We have the expansion dropping down along with the Forge. which is something for upgrades. You're definitely going to want to grab some upgrades if you're planning on a high macro game. Drop some cannons for defense. Let's see, the Deception is going to push here, only with a few Zerglings and some Roaches. Is it going to be enough? With the correct force field placement, this may be able to be handled. He is probably going to spawn in some more Stalkers and Zealots, though, if he decides he's going to make this push. Let's see, he's kind of regrouping here. Staying at the center of the map, sorry about that, and waiting for the rest of his Zergling reinforcements, it looks like, to catch up so he can make one good push. Maybe do some economic damage. The problem with this this decision, though, to move in and do some high aggression early on is that is a lot of drone counts. And here he's going to make some attack and some amazing force fields throw down, stopping those some Roaches from popping in. That Zealot was blocking that hole, and they are going to a few more force fields dropping right down, allowing those Stalkers and those Sentries to just kind of wipe free where those couple of Roaches, allowing his expansion to finish up. What's going to happen now? Those Roaches are just sitting there attacking that pylon, not really going to be able to do much. Only 4 Roaches now being able to finish up. They're probably cleaned up by the cannon popping up now. The cannon, 2 Stalkers, 2 Sentries easily going to clean this up, and the Forces are going to force those 4 Roaches apart, not really doing maximum damage anymore, and this is going to be cleaned up very, very swiftly. A few more Zealots to help reinforce those Stalkers. So that was amazing force field placement by Whiteload. I gotta stop that. WhiteRa, that's what I want to call him. That's what he was always known as. So he's dropping that down now. Canceled that cannon that he was building, dropping down another gateway and another pylon to replace what he had. And we have some more, it looks like, aggression going here. Let's take a look at the unit count. Like I said, in order to have such early aggression, he has cut a huge amount of drones. If we look at it, it is 21 drones to 34 probes. So if Whiteload Rock here comes with the Zergling's going to be able to force field them and really narrow them down, being able to just kind of pick them off, and they're going to be able to kill any of these Stalkers whatsoever. It doesn't look like they're going to go for the probes now, trying to do whatever economic damage he can. He knows he's far behind. As I was saying, he doing such early aggression, cutting such drones. If WhiteRa can hold this probe lead, he is now 38 probes to the 22 drones. So WhiteRa just keeping up way ahead now, and Deception just so far behind. He's going to start droning up now, but is it enough? His economy's far behind. He's missing 2 gas down here now, just kind of trying to catch up on the minerals, maybe drop some Zerglings to help defend. WhiteRa seems to just be macroing up, grabbing a bunch of sentries, grabbing another gateway, which will be quickly transformed into a warp gate. Up here, he is looking good and saturated, and he is kind of moving around. Just keeping up, macroing up, dropping. Is that another gateway? Yes, it is. So we'll have a lot of warp gates throwing in. He will have the economy to support this easily. He's so far ahead, he's going to push this Overlord away. That way, doesn't really get a good scout on what's going on and where is it going on. And we've got a few more Stalkers pumping right now. Down here, we have a Spine Crawler popping up, so it's always good to get some static defense, especially since you know you're so far behind. Lair Tech is dropping right now, and really, that said, he's just droning up right now. If we look at the production tab, we have 5 more Roaches on the way with Burrow and Tunning Claws. Really not building any more drones, which is kind of a bad decision. He needs to drone up, though he does know that there's a huge army on the way. If he knows there is a probably decent army down there. Probably taking a guess. Creep spread is poor, not gonna be able to move those queens up and down. That early aggression just really hindered him. And here comes a huge push, dropping a proxy pylon as we speak to help with those reinforcements. A bunch of Stalkers. If he pushes in right now, he probably could finish this up. There is like no defense down here whatsoever. Dropping the Guardian Shield, being able to reduce that damage to the Roaches. Moving in with the Stalkers, taking out that Spine Crawler, really focusing down on those Roaches in the corner, force feeling, making sure those drones cannot come up, just wasting their time trying to push by. Those Roaches just sitting in the back, doing a little bit of damage. Guardian Shield again with more of those sentries, more Stalkers coming in from that proxy pylon. He is quickly going to clean this up. If he is able to hold this, he is going to get a lot of damage done one way or another. So this is going to look good. This is a win-win situation for WhiteRa here, finishing off and cleaning up all of those drones, all those Roaches, and there's the GG from Deception. That was quite decisive. Right at the end there, WhiteRa knew that he had put so much early pressure that his economy had to have been hurting, and it was very hurting. Not enough money to really support or bring out enough troops, and he threw so many Zerglings at him later on in that game that was just not enough to defend. And WhiteRa took full advantage of his economy situation and just pumped out a bunch of units and just pushed in for the quick kill. So that's going to be game 1 in this best of 3. I'll see you guys at game 2. This is Mathis StarCraft, signing on out.